This began last fall as a collaboration between a lot of entities and gave these inmates an opportunity to increase their skills by coming to the college and taking our WLD 140-141 class, which is MIG welding. We chose that class because there's a high demand in the employment field. To be able to learn those skills, earn those credentials, and then go straight out, hit the ground running, as we would say. But just really give them an opportunity to reacclimate, re-enter into society moving forward, rather than having to start anew without any really foundation for them to be successful and prevent that cycle of going back into incarceration.
When they leave jail, they are leaving with funds, resources, and a network of people to help them. People do deserve second chances, and these are individuals who are paying the consequences of their actions, but deserve the ability to move on and have a successful life.
Got in trouble, got a felony. One thing led to another, and I was doing 3 years and turned to 5 years, until I was given this chance. At first, we didn't know what was going to come out of it, I thought it'd go somewhere, I just wanted to stay and stick it out and see what it done, and I'm glad it did. I walked out there with a chunk of money. At least I could give me a place to stay, a vehicle, get myself going, Didn't have to fall back on where am I going to stay at, who am I going to stay with, or how am I going to get back and forth to work. Life looks good, it does. I got a career now, I'm excited.
I started my sentence in 2009. I did like 3.5 years, and I got out and went on the run for about 8 years, and then got locked back up. Before I got out, they offered me the opportunity for the welding class. I couldn't turn it down. Getting out to having a good job and being stable, there's nothing like it really. You don't have to go back to your old ways. There's no reason for it. It was a good head start. Then I got to the welding program. I'd never welded before either. It was fun. It was a good learning process. I liked it. The jail started me a bank account. I had a little over $5,000 saved up, which I used to pay my restitution off, so I got out. I'm actually off parole now. I served out October 13th. It's helped tremendously. If you don't make payments on your restitution when you're on parole, eventually they're going to revoke you. And being a convicted felon in these days, it's hard to get a job anywhere. And this opportunity, it was a godsend. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be better off than I am right now.
What I think is most important and what I'm seeing the most is hope. They've re-entered society. They are really being productive members of society. We are definitely seeing that those individuals who have been successful in this program are not reoffending.
I was incarcerated for 3.5 years. I had a couple trafficking charges that got me locked away. I was just trying to make some extra money. For the first year I sat in jail and I didn't do anything. I just read books. There's not a lot of things that you can do. Watch TV, sleep a lot for a year straight, and didn't do anything. When I started the welding program, we started going to the school, and I was really intimidated because I literally hadn't left the jail and hadn't been around people much. There was a bunch of us girls, and we were all excited. And we were really competitive because we wanted to just kind of show that girls could do it too. It was our only chance, and what we done out there reflected, the rest of the girls in the cell that really wanted the opportunity too.
For the first cohort, we actually had to go to the jail that day, and I had to recruit students, because just because we envisioned this great plan and program, it doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be buy-in from the inmates. We walked into their barracks, and you walk in there, and it's jail, right? It smells like jail, looks like jail. You've got about 50 to 60 inmates in there, and most of them look like that, they didn't want us to be there. And I said, I'm here today to give you guys an opportunity to change your identity. And everybody kind of looked at me. I said, when I walked in here today, y'all look like a bunch of crooks. And the room was just quiet. I said, but through this program, you can change that identity. I said, when they announced me coming in here, they announced me as Associate Dean Hall, but he could have announced me as a liar. He could have announced me as a drug addict. He could have announced me as a drunkard, but that was my identity in the past. My identity now is as Associate Dean and Youth Pastor. And I said, so for you all, while you're identified as criminals right now, I'm giving you the opportunity to change that identity once you get out of this. And it's going to take skills to change that identity, but you can do it. 10 minutes later, if we could have signed up all 40 of them, I think we could have, because you had to talk to, the ears that are listening. It's about how you're going to get out and what you're going to do with your life post-incarceration. And it's a process. It is. I mean, to go to those classes every day, stay out of trouble, learn that skill, and then apply it.
We assist them with creating their resumes. We make sure that they are prepared for their interviews. I actually made the connection with Hendrickson, which is the employer that employs our inmates after they've completed their training at the college. We just make sure that they're fully prepared for the transition, because it is a big transition from being in jail, not doing anything all day, to going to work every day, following a schedule, and building consistency in their lives.
When I got out, the Goodwill and other places had came up to the jail. They made sure I had a plan. I was really surprised, because when you're in jail for so long, people don't really try to help you in the way that they did. It's like, I've been in and out of jail since I was 8 years old. So this wasn't my first go around with being incarcerated. I had a 10-year sentence before this one that I just finished, but I never learned anything. I didn't have any resources. I would just go to jail and they would release me, and good luck. That's why I know that this time was different, because I actually have things to stand on, and I have people to look to in situations, and I'm just really proud